Hey, it's been a minute, so let's just go on and get started. We don't need all that introduction.
Hey y'all, hey YouTube channel and my Facebook group CCBAB.
Okay, we're starting with some of the tools I use. The one that's probably not familiar is the concrete tube. I bought that at Home Depot. I had them cut it in half. You can actually cut it with a saw, a power saw. It's very hard to cut, so I had them cut it for me at Home Depot. That's going to be the base for the table. Then, of course, I have my glue gun. I have a staple gun. I have my material and my foam, which are my most important tools. I'm also going to use the spray adhesive and some scissors. So I apologize in advance. This is going to be a voiceover for the most part. I don't know why I tape with music playing in the background when I know I cannot put that on YouTube. So I do apologize for that, but we're going to get started. Okay, I decided to use the spray adhesive to adhere the foam to the concrete tube. I'm using Loctite. My foam is 1-inch foam, so all I did was take it outside because I didn't want to spray it inside. Because if you spray it inside and it hit the floor, it'll be forever trying to get it off. So I just sprayed it on there and put the foam on there. I then used my fabric shears to cut the excess foam, making sure that it was stuck down all the way around. Next, I did my markings for the tufting. That's what it's called when you put the little embellishments on there. So where the little button type deals go. I'm actually going to show you a diagram so you can see what I'm doing since the audio is messed up. Okay, so I'm going to try to explain it to you simply how I made the marks that I made and how I decided to make it. So I did not explain this at the beginning, but the concrete tube that I have was 48 inches long and 12 inches across. Okay, I got it cut down the middle, which made me have two 24-inch tables. So my tables are 24 inches. They're 2 feet tall. So this is how I decided to do mine. And of course, you can do it any way you want to do it. So the first mark I made from the top was 3 inches down. So that was my first mark. And from there, I made a mark 6 inches down, 6 inches down, and 6 inches down. So that made 4 in a row. 3 down, 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 inches. So that's 21 inches, and it's 24 inches, so it covers the whole thing, and it looks pretty good. Now, that's where I made my first line. So to make the next line across the top, so let's make another top so you can see this bigger. So I made my first mark 3 inches down, then I did the other. So from here, since it was, mine ended up being like 47 inches around once I put the foam on there. So this might vary for you according to thickness of your foam and how you have it on there. So I decided to do them 5 inches apart. So from here to the next one is 5 inches. So I did that all the way around. It was 3 inches down and 5 inches apart between each of them, okay? So that's the first row. Then we're going to turn it back on the other side. Let me get another piece of paper because you can see through that. If I'm going too slow for you, if you got it, you got it, and you can move on. So that's so right here, this is what we have now. We have the 3, 6. That's 6. That's 6. And that's 6. So we have them 4 marks, then we have 5 apart. And 5 apart all the way around for the 3s and the 6s. So it's 5 inches between each one. 5 inches between each one. That's 5 and 6 inches down. So I wanted to get one in the middle. So all I did was go back and put one in the middle of each one. And so if I put one in the middle of each one, so I have these 4, that's 3, that's 6 down, 6 down, 6 down. And here go another one that's 5 inches apart, that's 3, 6 down, 6 down, 6 down. All I did was go back and put one in the middle, which made is 3 down in the middle. Understood? So that's that part. So it actually made the little diamond design. So do your roll, then just, you can either measure them, which is 2.5 inches between and 3 inches up, or just place it. So you go back and you put your X's where you want them. Now, this is the way I did it because I had 24 inches and 47 around to try to make it even. So I hope that helped. Next, I took my scissors and cut around the marks that I made. Don't pay attention to my marks. I made a mistake, so I know which ones to cut and which ones not to. The way I did it was take a snip on each side and top and bottom, just a little snip. Then take my fingers and go and twist and take it out. So I did that for every mark I made. So next we're gonna measure. So I grabbed my yardstick, but you can see I have my tape measure. You're gonna measure, I know it's 24 inches. Then I have to have enough material of fabric to go on the inside because I'm gonna staple it on the inside around the rim. So I added an extra 4 inches to the top and an extra 4 inches to the bottom just to start with. Once I put it on there, I can adjust and I can cut off the excess. So this is just me measuring the material and cutting it off. The material I have is called marine vinyl. It was $19 a yard at Joann's, and that's the fabric store I use. That's the only one we have here. This particular material does not need batting on the inside, so I won't be adding batting because it actually has liner. If I had something that was thin, I would probably use some batting on there, but you'll just see me cut this actual material. Okay, so I'm using my living room table. It's more convenient for me. What I did is I laid it on the side, and I'm going to get ready to put the faux leather, this marine leather. So I'm going to start with the seam, okay? I'm going to start with the seam. I'm put a little bit past the seam, and then I'm going to start stapling going back. So what I want to do is I want to be able to cut off the biggest piece. So at the top, which this is my top, I'm only going to put enough material to wrap over there. That way the longest portion will be at the bottom so I can cut it off. So I'm going to make it as even as I can according to the seam. So I put it on the seam. Then I kind of lift it up and roll it just a tad so it'll be right over the seam. And then I will start with the staples. So This is the second hole past the seam, so I lined it up right below that. And then I'll start with the staple. So I got my hand down the staple gun. And what I do, that thing heavy, is make sure I hit the spots to start. So this is the first spot. I'm just gonna take my staple gun. I'm gonna put it right there, push it down, and I'm gonna staple it. Go to the second one. Third. Fourth. Now this is an electric staple gun. You can also use the manual one. Give me a second. I'm gonna go get my manual one, show you that one that works. In case you don't have the electric one. So I have my manual one. Oh, there's some staples in here. So this is the one that I got from, I want to say Walmart, maybe $10. So now all I do is I'm going to constantly roll it over and I'm going to start tufting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feel for the spot where I got the holes at. I know they're in between the little things, so that's where I'm going to be stapling. Even if I can't find it, I put my little hand up under there and I go and find it. So we're going to start with this one. Then we'll go to this one, and that will be it. We're going to go all the way around. So, I'm trying to make sure I hit the right thing because I did make one mistake when I started and it was right around this spot. So I'm just trying to make sure I got one. Right here. So I got my manual, push it down, and it works just as good. Not as fast, but just as good. It's stuck in there, it's not coming out. Now this leather sticks, so I had to put my little hand under there to figure out where my little tufting holes are. And we're gonna go all the way around and do it all the way. And again, my leather kind of thick, or pleather, whatever it is. So I'll just stick my hand up under there, make sure I get my little hole. And I don't want to miss any holes, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make this quiet hours and then I'll just let you watch me work. I just want to take this time to thank you all for watching my video. For returning subscribers, welcome back, Stair Boy. For those of you who are new, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And for everyone, hit the bell button so you can follow and be notified when I upload new content. I definitely am going to continue to do the normal crafts that I do on this channel. However, I have been hooked on YouTube on these DIY videos for home improvement while I was recovering from COVID and while I was finishing up my master's degree. So I want to try to do some of this stuff for my home and for others. You know, I like to make stuff and give it to my family members. So I hope you enjoy this trip. Again, I'm doing regular crafts also, but I'm really into this home improvement. Today is the day after Amazon Prime Day. I got me a drill. I have a circular saw. I have a jigsaw. And I got me a paint gun. I cannot wait. And I hope you'll join me as I do some of this stuff. So let's get back to this video. Okay, so at the end where we're getting back to where we started at, I took out the extra part just a little bit so that I could fold it on that seam. Okay. it on that seam. Then I'm going to staple it right back in the same spot. And when I put the jewels on there, it'll cover that up so you won't need to see it. Okay, so we have that done. Very neat, looks really good. Now we gotta do the trim and put it on the inside, and we'll be almost finished. Okay, for this particular table, I have mine open on the top and the bottom. I'm not going to use it for storage, but you definitely can use it for storage. And you can add a bottom to it. I'll tell you how to do that. But for this one, all I did was fold the leather over, cut off any excess, and I stapled right around the very top of it. You can trim as much as you want from the top, but make sure you have enough to where the staples are secure in there. Be careful as you're doing this. When you use the staples, they actually go straight through the material. They're not like paper staplers where they're gripped and fold in. So the staples are actually sticking out on the inside, and they are very sharp. Okay, so we're looking down in here, and if you look in here, you can see the staples are sticking out. So what I did is I took a spoon and I just pressed the staples down. So I found that it was easier to press them outward. This is definitely not my best moment trying to do this. However, I was trying to hold the camera in my hand while I'm trying to explain it. But I definitely just pressed them outward by putting the spoon between the prongs. Be very careful. Again, these are very sharp. Once I did that, I went ahead and finished the top and the bottom. Right here, you'll see me folding this over. I did cut some of it off because this is the bottom. I could have cut a little bit more than that. Again, it depends on how you're going to finish it. I'm not going to use the inside of mine, so I just cut it off and tightened it up over and stapled it on that side. Although I'm not planning on using my tables for storage, I'm going to show you two simple ways that you can use this not only as a table, but you can use the inside for storage. So the first way I did is I used one of the satin pillowcases from the Dollar Tree. I just put it on the inside and took it and folded over the outer edges. It fits perfectly. It's a tight fit. Once you get it in there and you finish your table, you'll actually have a silky lining on the inside, and you can sit your things down in there and it'll be secure. You would still need to go back and bend down those staples. Again, those things are very sharp. This gives you a silky, smooth lining on the inside. Well, if you knock the wrinkles out. Yes, here I go with this old crazy drawing again. So another way to do it is we got our concrete tube over here. So we're going to get cardboard and we're going to actually cut out a 16-inch circle. This is 12-inch. Once you cut out a 16-inch circle, you're going to make an outline of a 12-inch circle on the inside of that, on dead in the center. So this is 12-inch, 16-inch. You're going to make your outline of the 12-inch. Then you're going to make slits to right before the 12-inch circle you made, okay? Evenly spaced around. to right before the 12 inches. Once you do that, you're going to take that cardboard. You're going to put it down in your tube with the flaps that you made inside, facing inside the tube, and you're going to staple around, okay? So you'll staple on the inside. This 12 inch will be the bottom. You could cover this with felt or whatever you're going to do on your inside prior to putting it in. You're going to staple around, and where you have the slits, you're going to staple over the slits. So you're essentially going to be stapling the two flaps together, okay? When you do that, that's gonna be prior to you putting the foam on. So you'll see the staples sticking out. But once you put the foam on, the staples won't stick through. Okay? So that's another way you can make a bottom to use it for storage. And once you get the foam on there, and you get your fabric, I keep saying material, you get your fabric on there, press your staples down. You can actually take poster board, cut it to the measurements of the inside, roll it up and put it on the inside, or felt material. If you can't get the staples to go down or stay down the way you want them, you can take the hot glue and actually cover the staples up so you won't have those sharp edges. But you can put the poster board on the inside after you press the staples down, and that will make the inside really pretty. Okay, 2 steps left. Now, for my table, I decided to do a simple top. When I tried to do the tufting on the top with the material I had, I did not like the way it looked. So I had some cake boards. So I used the 12-inch gold cake board from Walmart. I used the foam, cut out about a 14-inch circle of foam, a 14-inch circle of the foam poster boards from the Dollar Tree. I put them all together with the cake board facing out, the gold part. Cut the material so that it was larger than the circle, and I used Loctite cream and hot glue around the edges and glued the fabric around the edges on the very edge right on the black foam board. I used the Loctite glue because that's what I had at the house. You can use any strong glue like E6000 Gorilla Glue, but I just put it around the edge and used that glue plus the hot glue gun to stick the fabric around the edges. Once I got the fabric stuck down, I used scissors to trim off the excess fabric. And that's all I did for the top. So I'm on the final portion right now. We're going to come back and I'll let you see what was done. So what I'm doing right now, I got these acrylic jewels from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to be filling these spaces where I put the staple at with the acrylic jewels. So it's a flat side and a pointed side. I'm going to put the glue around the pointed side, and that's how I'm going to put it. So the flat side will be out. When I put it on here, because I don't want to be burned by hot glue. I have so many hot glue horror stories. I don't press it that hard. Let me bring the camera up. I'm always hooked by this cord, but y'all, I do have a cordless hot glue gun. I'm just so used to this one. Then I don't know. I have lights and I very rarely turn them on. I'm equipped, I just don't never use it. So I just take it, hold the pointed side up and just barely squeeze it. I do have a low temperature gun also. That's what I would suggest on this, but this is the one I was using earlier. So again, creature of habit. Even though it'll be safer with the with the low temperature gun. So I'm gonna finish this And then I'll come back and I'm going to show you the finished look.
Got a lot on my mind, and I don't know what to make of it. And I've got plenty of crafting supplies just laying around. So maybe I'll have a little conversation with you folks for the sake of it. Everyone's invited. Get excited. We're gonna have a whole lot of fun with the things that we found. So listen up, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna show you the things that I do. I'm gonna make a bit of this